And so I'm recording. And I'm actually in this right now. So I'm going to show you a list, a SharePoint list that I already have made. And I know when I want you to duplicate this, you don't have to copy the list specifically, but create a SharePoint list later, and then I'm going to copy the flow and the Power App so you can have access to it as an example, or actually utilize. But let me share. So this is a standard SharePoint list. I went and customized the form. I did not create a Canvas app that has a little more overhead, but just customizing this form, I need to do something very simple. I need to put in one value that's in, and that I have. I have this value, and Workday contains this value, the second value. I need to get it, and the Workday Learning APIs have it. So um, all I've done with this little example is call the Workday Learning APIs. I know you've seen those at one point. We're not going into the details of that right now, but that is in the APIM.
The course ID, it's what we put in Workday as reference ID for an object, for example.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to go the other way around. I'm looking for the course ID, and I have the course number field. Course number has been used by our department for a long time, and so I'm going to copy this course number. I'm going to click the new button to launch the form, and that form is not clean. Paste in that course number and click the Get Course ID button, which will call the API. And it has returned this course ID. So looking at the inner workings of it, so the format was quick and simple. They don't have to save it if they don't want to, but to show you the form itself, which you would normally go customize forms here. I already have it open. The form is, it's as simple in the background as it looks. It's only got those two fields, nothing else hidden, nothing happening right now. And it's got a variable called var course ID. And all I'm doing when the button is clicked is setting that variable, but then you have to do this call to a workflow. So Power Apps by itself cannot call the API. Power Apps works with Flow to call this API.
Okay. Yes, we didn't learn that part for the API because we created the apps but without APIs.
Right.
So in this case, okay, you have the SharePoint, and
Yes.
that form is created in Power Apps to call an API and return the course
Right.
ID.
Yes, but there is an extra step. You have to create the flow as well.
Because in the flow is the one that calls the API.
Correct. So
Okay.
So I'm going to stop the Power App here and go to show you the flow. You really should make the flow first. So with the flow, this one is already created, but when you create a brand new flow, it has lots of different triggers. I think there is one specifically to trigger a Power App from a flow, to trigger your flow from Power Apps. That's what I have used. And Power Apps is, I like Power Apps a lot. So,
No,
but
it's very
better.
it's very good. There is a lot to learn, and
Yes.
but it has a lot of potential.
Yes. So there's a section of triggers and actions for Power
Mm-hmm.
Apps within Flow. So if you just create a blank one though from Power Apps as the template, you'll be fine to start there. I'll give you a copy of this Flow uh,
Good.
to work with, and it has these few actions in it for Flow, but this last one is a scope, which is a kind of container, and it has several actions within it. So these are all of the actions. There's nothing major and no additional things that are needed. But uh, the first thing I do is create some variables, all of these. And these are they're, I wish I could put them in another little container like this one that expands and collapses, but
Mm.
you can't do that with variables yet. So you need some variables near the top that where you put in your uh, your connection details for the API. So you've looked at some of the process of getting access to the API. You do have to, go through the process of logging your application, getting the login permissions. There's several steps of that, which we're not going through right now. But in essence, you create these variables and populate them with what you have. And probably shouldn't have shown that one. The secret you get from the IAM portal. And it's a two-step process to call any of our APIs. The first step is to get a temporary key, which is called an access token. So you have to you have to put in the URL to get the key, and it's just a standard one for all of Chevron, and you pass in the specific information that you need. So I have this is information that I stored above here in the variables. So I'm going to pass that, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
few little steps to it, but you have to first the key with the APIs to make it secure is that it's a two-step process to get anything directly, and these keys are temporary, and you have to establish them beforehand, uh, through several people, but in a few tickets, and get access to the environment. It makes it very secure. So
Where do you get the key from?
that's there's a process that you have to go through to begin that process. To you put tickets you have to put in the APIM portal, which I was pulling up here, but I'm not logged into the VPN right now. But I will send you links to the staging area. I don't know if they've updated the documents. I think you referenced that you had seen some of those before, and it's several steps, and they have improved it. And I think I'd have to see if there's any additional updates.
Okay,
But now that
but
everything's
you,
kind of stabilized, it is a lot better.
the key, you get the key before
Yes,
creating this step in Power Apps, and the key,
that is correct.
it's what gives you the access to that API.
That is correct.
Okay.
So so once you have those things established, then it's a two-step process that you do over and over. And this workflow runs every I don't remember how. This one's on the button, but I have some that run every 2 hours. I have one that runs every 12 hours to get different information from the APIs. But in every process, it's pretty much the same. Once you're all set up, both you and your application are set up, then you can come in here and pass this token, or pass this password or secret, it's called, to get an access token. Once you have that access token, then you have to pass it into the APIs, directly to the API using a separate URL. And here is where I'm telling it, use this access token. And it pulls back the information that you need. So I actually do a few things with the information. I create a table with it. Those aren't really necessary. That's for me testing. But at the last step is to send it back from Flow to the Power App. So
Mm-hmm.
Power App, you click the button in Power App, the new button, it pulls up the Power App, but the Power App then you click the button, it goes to Flow. Flow goes to the API, passes some information and gets some information back, and Flow sends that back to Power Apps. Uh, and that's pretty much it. So I'll send you a few steps
Okay.
and make a duplicate of this one for you. We'll have to see about the secret. So I'll look and see as well if they have a new documentation. I think the documentation that currently has, uh, it was tough for working through it for us. So it might be just as tough for you if they haven't made it more simple. But you and I can walk through that and help
Yes.
them make it more simple.
Good. Thank you.
You got it.
No,
Okay.
yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Um, yes.
You are very welcome. Hopefully, this recording will help. Um,
Yes. So
and yeah, I'll send you I have to brainstorm and see what else I need to, what else will help you. But I will definitely, I'm proud to help you.
thank you so much, Barry. Well, when you have time, I would like to see when do you think it's the best time, and how frequently do you think we can meet? Maybe I don't know. I don't want to interrupt you in your work.
Yeah,
You
Fridays are probably better.
Friday.
Fridays are probably better. But what's your schedule like? I'm off every other Friday.
Um, I don't know which day is best for you.
Probably Friday. Right.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me too.
Good. Yeah.
So I can schedule something when is your working day,
Yeah.
and do you think 1 hour it's okay, or maybe
Yes.
30 minutes? 1 hour?
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll get started.
Okay. I will schedule it for. Well, I will check your calendar,
Yes, please.
and the other thing, and I will show you the Power App next time.
Perfect.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for recording it.
You
I'm
are very
very glad. I'm very happy to have met you, and all you are explaining and what you're going to do explain.
thank you. Same here. So
Okay.
let me stop this recording.